Yo, what's up, everybody? It is the Beast, and welcome back to the Beast On. It is it's another video for you, right? We're giving you more content, more varied content. We're gonna be all over the place. We're gonna be everywhere. We're gonna give you things that you might like or might not like, but that's okay. Subscribe to the channel right there. Hit the little bell right there. That way you're notified when a new video comes up. Follow on the social at Miami Radio Beast. I tweet the links out a million times. And then you get whatever you're looking for from me, the Beast, right? I mean, the other day I started my diaries, if you will, my video blogs on me being unemployed. There'll be another episode on that coming up. I might do some movie reviews. God, we're about to go to war with Iran, so that's fun. I might chime in on that. But this video right here is about the new offensive coordinator at the University of Miami, Rhett Lashlee. First reported by Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. The Buzz always gets it done. He always gets the story. Oh, if you're not following Florida Sports Buzz, I mean, what are you doing with your life? So Rhett Lashlee comes to the University of Miami from SMU, and I think this is a great hire. Well, let me back that up for a second. I think this is a great hire knowing what I know right now. Caveat to all coaching hires. You never know how a guy is going to fit in with a new staff, new players, new place, all of that stuff. And you never know what's going to happen with any coaching hire in any level of football, right? You could take a perfectly great coach, take him out of a place where he's comfortable, where he's doing well, put him in a new environment, and all of a sudden things aren't the same and he does not do well. But on paper, I think this is a really good hire for the University of Miami. Let's address one thing first. So a lot of Cage fans have been all over my Twitter timeline. Oh no, we got the guy from SMU. How dare we get the guy from SMU? We deserve better than a guy from SMU. Don't pay attention to that. Here's the deal. Let me enlighten you as to some University of Miami history. Once upon a time, University of Miami, through happenstance, when Howard Schnellenberger was leaving the University of Miami to go, I think, was it the USFL? Yeah. Sam Jankovic happened to be out and about at a coaching convention and is with Jimmy Johnson in an elevator. And they start talking. Jimmy Johnson at the time coaches Oklahoma State. Not a big program at the time. This wasn't, I'm 40. I'm a man. I'm 40. We haven't gotten to that yet. And they got to talking. Sam Jankovic liked him. There's a lot of in-between stuff that happened, but ends up hiring Jimmy Johnson. At the time, down here in South Florida, everyone's like, we're Miami. We just won the 1983 National Championship. Why did we get this coach from Oklahoma State? What the hell does this guy know about Miami? This guy from Oklahoma State's not going to know anything about the 305, blah, 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 blah. What did Jimmy Johnson do come in? He came in, he recruited some of the best players that have ever played football on any level, won another championship, right? It worked out. Then, Jimmy Johnson leaves, goes to the Dallas Cowboys. So where does Miami go and get its coach? A guy that had coached at Idaho and Washington State named Dennis Erickson. And people were up in arms down here. You mean to tell me we're about to be a powerhouse in football? We've got the best players in college football, and you get a coach from Washington State? I don't even know what city that's in. I can, off the top of my head, I don't remember what city that's in. But, and it's Dennis Erickson, and what does he do? He revolutionizes offense in football. He wins 2 national championships for the University of Miami. It doesn't matter where you get your coaches from, just because they're at a school that you deem not to be in your same league. Although after Miami loses to Duke, FIU, and Louisiana Tech, I wouldn't use that argument because it's not going to bode well for you. That doesn't matter. Rhett Lashlee has a great lineage, and let's talk about that lineage, right? So he is a student of Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn, I remember back, it was about, 10, 12, 13 years ago, when he was a high school coach in Arkansas, had one of the most prolific offenses in the high school level, and he gets chosen to go to Arkansas with his quarterback, Mitch Mustaine, to be an offensive coordinator on the college level. And a lot of people looked at this and like, this is, all right. They're just taking Gus Malzahn to go to Arkansas because they just want Mitch Mustain to go to Arkansas. Mitch Mustain ended up flaming out. He transferred to USC. He couldn't do that. He tried playing baseball. He was in the Canadian League. Regardless, Gus Malzahn was a pretty damn good hire. That guy's an offensive genius. Now, Gus Malzahn, and let's get into this. The other coach that Rhett Lashlee has been under is Sonny Dykes at SMU. So let's talk about Gus Malzahn and Sonny Dykes as influences of Rhett Lashlee. Gus Malzahn runs a spread. Sonny Dykes runs a spread. Two totally different types of spread offenses. And that's the thing when you think about, everyone's saying, hey, Miami needs to run the spread. We need to take advantage of the speedy talent that is at the U to run an offense. No more of this pro-style, slowish-looking offense because that's just not going to work with all the talent we have. It's not exciting. It's not up-tempo. It's not what we need, right? Agree with you. But there's a million different types of spread offenses, right? The first spread I really started studying was because back when I was a sideline reporter on the University of Miami broadcast, Miami was going up to West Virginia to play West Virginia, and Rich Rodriguez is the coach, and he runs a spread. But Rich Rodriguez's spread is a spread them out and run offense. That running back is still running up the middle on the University of Miami. They couldn't figure out how to stop it, but that's okay. And then there's spread and pass. So Gus Malzahn's spread offense is really a power run offense out of a spread. And then it also is predicated on the play action pass because they're pounding you, they're running. All of a sudden, you hit them with the play action pass, and boom, you get a big play. That's Gus Malzahn's spread offense. Sonny Dykes' spread offense is the air raid, which is throwing the ball all over the place. So here you have a guy named Rhett Lashlee who's coming in as the offensive coordinator who has worked with two of these guys who run two different versions of the spread offense. This can only mean great things. Why? Because it's still my feeling, and if you look at SMU's numbers, I think this is a good thing. You kind of have to be balanced on offense when it comes to run and pass. You can favor one slightly over the other, but you can't completely ignore one aspect of the game. In my theory, listen, I could be completely wrong. I didn't play football. I'm short, fat, bald, and not athletic, so what the hell do I know? But from all the football I've watched, from everyone I've talked to that is an expert on football, former players, coaches, I've been around them all, you need to have some semblance of balance on offense. So Rhett Lashlee is going to come in. He's going to apply what he knows from Gus Malzahn's run-heavy spread, and he's going to apply what he knows from Sonny Dykes' pass-heavy spread. He's going to put it together, and the University of Miami should have a great spread offense. Regardless of what they do with the ball, whether it's pass or run, they're going to be up-tempo. And the most important thing is they're going to use the players and the roles that are necessary to be accomplished on offense. The good thing about offensive coordinators, when they're good, they come in, they assess what talent they have, where they're great, and let's apply an offense to that. Let's run a scheme that utilizes the talents of the players that we have. Right? Right. Dan Enos came in and just was like, I'm running my Dan Enos offense, and even though it's not working, I'm just going to run it because that's what I want to run, and I coached at Alabama, and now I don't have a job. Didn't work. So I think the best thing that Rhett Lashlee can do is he comes in with all these theories, with all these ideas, schemes, techniques, up-tempo, all the stuff that he thinks about thinks about this job. But he's going to come in, he's going to assess what Miami has talent-wise on offense and run a system that's geared towards that. And he can do that because he has these two different influences of two different types of spread offenses from Gus Malzahn and Sonny Dykes. And I think the other good thing is, listen, I always liked when my offensive coordinator played quarterback, even though Dan Enos did too, but Rhett Lashlee was a quarterback. He unfortunately suffered a shoulder injury and never got to continue with his career. And I really like when offensive coordinator seems to be cerebral, which is what Rhett Lashlee seems to be. He seems to be a cerebral, really heavy thinker type of guy. The other thing I think is This guy seems to be a great motivator. I think what he has command of an offensive meeting room, from what I've read, and specifically on the practice field, the players listen to him. He's fun to work with, and he gets the most out of the players, and that's what you want, right? So I think that listen, this hire is not going to cure everything that's wrong with the University of Miami football program. There's so many levels to that could take another 17 videos. I've already done like 3 on that, and I still have more to go. But what this does is it shows that Manny Diaz acknowledged he made a mistake in hiring Dan Enos, and he had to fix it with the guy that was right for this program, this team, these players, this area, all of that, and he went and got Rhett Lashlee. Now let's talk about this for 1 second, because I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but let's call a spade a spade. All the praise in the world comes in when Manny Diaz goes out and gets Rhett Lashlee, right? And deserves it. I think it's a good hire. But on the other hand, Manny Diaz also brought in Dan Enos, which was a disaster. Now, listen, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with this football program. Coaches are going to be leaving and coming, whatever. I'm not getting into that here about all the assistants, because then I'll just get bogged down, and this video will be 110 minutes, and I don't want to do that. But, if coaches are having to leave, that means you made the wrong decision in the first place. Now, you can make up for it and make better decisions now, but the great Don Solinger, right? One of the best assistant coaches in the history of the University of Miami, right? Running back, special teams. He coached defense back in the day. He was one of the greatest high school coaches down at Southridge in the history of Miami-Dade County. Don Solinger used to always say, "I'm like Missouri, bro. You got to show me." Because if you don't know this, Missouri is the show me state. So he would be like, "I'm like Missouri. You got to show me." And that's what I'm kind of waiting on with Manny Diaz and any new hires and moving forward what the team's going to look like. He's like Missouri. He's got to show me, because this last year, he didn't show me, right? I really thought Manny Diaz was going to be a better coach than he was, and what we got was a lot of pomp and circumstance with chains and boats and music and videos and GIFs and memes and all of that stuff. A lot of frosting around the cake, but the cake tasted horrible. The cake tasted like freaking cardboard. The cake tasted like something out of a dumpster that was 27 days old and had mold growing on it. The cake was bad, but the frosting was amazing. I mean, there was some fondant on that. Oh, or maybe a little buttercream, cream cheese base, whatever. Oh, I love me some frosting. Who doesn't love frosting? All right, that's why I'm fat. We need to get away from the frosting in the cake. But you get the point, right? So, bottom line is this. Good job hiring Rhett Lashlee. I think it's a good hire. I really like his lineage. I like what he has up here as far as different schools of the spread offense. I'm a big fan of Gus Malzahn's spread offense. I was always a fan of Gus Malzahn, reading articles in magazines, because back then, we did that, about him and his offense in high school, ever since then, and going to Arkansas and now at Auburn and everywhere he's been. I really am a fan of Gus Malzahn and his kind of really intelligent way of looking at offense. I think that's going to really help Rhett Lashlee. He's got someone he can call. So Lashlee being with Sonny Dykes, another guy that's really known for offense and has that to rely on. I think this is a good hire for the University of Miami. Again, it's not going to fix everything, but it's a start. And that's all we can ask for in 2020 is a start. All right, that'll do it for me. I am the Beast. Again, please subscribe to the channel. Do it down there. Hit the little bell. And if you can do me a huge favor, tell all your friends. Retweet it. Share it on Facebook. Go on the Insta. Go on the TikTok. Make a video about my video. Do people still use Snap? Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, whatever. Share it however you can. We're going to have all sorts of varied content. And I promise you, if one day I have a video that you don't like or you're not into that topic, the next day I'll have something you're into. I'm going to be me, which is everywhere. And another thing is I finally got my green screen and I got some more studio lighting and stuff like that. I'm going to start to do better production with the videos. What does that mean? That means we can start adding sponsor logos. So if you're out there and you have a business and you want to get your logos right here while I'm doing the videos, we can talk. Slide into my DMs if you'd like. And if you really love me, like, oh, I love you so much, you can support me on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Brian the Beast London. That would be a big help. I do want to keep the lights on in the house as I'm trying to figure out to navigating the world without a constant paycheck. So if you want to support, I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. For everyone in my guest bedroom, which is me and a couple of filing cabinets and some bureaus filled with clothes that my dad leaves in the house. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.